Hi, Siavash here, and in this episode I'm going to show you how you can connect your own domain into your ENTRESoft. Alright, here I am in my ENTRESoft, and I'm going to show you how you can connect your own domain to ENTRESoft so you have all of your website, funnels, and everything branded to your domain. So obviously we have too many domains provider, and I won't be able to showcase every single one of them how to integrate that, but the syntax and essence are going to be pretty much the same. So what we want you to do is basically we want you to go to your domain provider, so pretty much wherever you bought your domain, GoDaddy, Bluehost, whatever, and you want to go inside the DNS settings for that specific domain. Some of them they call it like manage DNS, some of them said DNS settings, some of them call it like zone editor or something like that. In any case, I have GoDaddy and I'm going to show you how to do it inside GoDaddy. So let me go back inside my domains and show you. So when you sign in inside the GoDaddy, you should have something similar to this coming up. Now what you want to do, you go to your, on top right, you go to your name, you click on my products, and it will show you all the domains, website, and products that you have with GoDaddy. In my case, I want to implement this one and integrate this one, Entre Mastermind, with ENTRESoft. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go and click on these three dots in here, and I'm going to click on Manage DNS. Now it will bring up all the DNS settings that I have. Your version might be different. You might only have a couple of A records, CNAME records, and those kind of things. Don't worry if it doesn't look similar to mine. It's all good. The only thing that is important is you be able to see some of this stuff in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and jump back to ENTRESoft. If you're using the new version, your settings are going to be down at the bottom left sidebar. You click on settings. Even if you're using the old UI, it's going to be pretty much on the left sidebar if you scroll down. Then in the new version, again, the domains are going to be on the left hand side. If you are using the old version, the domain is going to be somewhere on top in here. So go ahead and click on domains. Now as you can see, I've already integrated two domains which are actually subdomains to my account, and I'm just going to go and add a new one. So if you're new, this is going to be empty. You go ahead and click on add new domain. Now, as you can see, we have two options. One of them is said adding an A record pointing to this or a CNAME pointing to this. For the purpose of this tutorial, we are going to go with the A record. So what you want to do, you just copy this number in here. So I'm going to go ahead, highlight, and copy the number. And then I'm jump back to my domain manager. And if you already have an A record somewhere in here, you just need to edit that. But if you don't have an A record, because usually when you buy a domain for the first time, you will get like an A record by default that usually points to like park or some random IP address that is your domain provider. So you just go ahead and edit that. But in my case, I don't have any A record in here. I'm just going to go ahead and click on add. The process is going to be exactly the same. So the type is going to be A record. The name is always going to be @, which means it is the root domain. And the value, it's pretty much we're going to just paste what we copied and we click on add record. Most of the domain providers nowadays, as soon as you do something like this, it's going to be ASAP. So that means that you don't need to wait 24 to 72 hours for it to be basically available all over the internet. That means that I can now technically go into my ENTRESoft and put in my domain and everything should verify. So let's just try it. I'm going to go ahead back into ENTRESoft and just going to type entremastermind.com and let's hit add and see if it works. And boom, it works. Now, if you don't see this option not coming up, it means that you don't have any website or funnel already. This is actually very important and I'm going to come back to this in a sec. But for now, let's just go ahead and click on cancel. Now, as you can see, my domain in here is in here. I'm just going to go ahead and go back. So let's say that you don't have any website or funnel, and what we want to do, because at the end of the day, that domain, when I wanted to give it to someone and say, okay, this is my website, go and have a look at it, they're just going to go ahead and put on entremastermind.com, and if I do that right now, this is what's going to happen. So if I just type entremastermind.com, this comes out and says 404, sorry, we cannot reach. So to fix this issue, it means that the root URL, which is this guy, needs to point to a website. which technically most of the time is going to be either your authority page, your main website, and you want it to point there. So let's say that you've already created a website, and if you don't know how to create a website or authority website, you can click the link up there. It's one of my tutorial that I did it like a couple of weeks ago, I believe, and you can watch the whole thing, and I show you how you can actually create a website from scratch. Well, for the purpose of this tutorial, I've already made a simple website, which is basically one homepage, and it pretty much just have a text there. So once you have your website ready, the way to actually make this work is you need to go back to settings, and you go back to the domains, and in here, when we have the domain, on the right hand side we have this pencil icon. So we click on the pencil icon, and we tell it, okay, select the page for root URL. This is where you actually choose that home page for your website. So as you can see, it's the website shows up there. I'm just going to click on that, and you don't need to touch anything in here, and you just go ahead and click save. Now once you do that, sometimes your Chrome might have like cached the data, so if you come in here and refresh it, it might not work. Well, let's just go ahead and give it a try. So I'm just going to refresh this page, and as you can see, now it's different. It's basically bringing up that simple website that I've created. Now, if you look at the URL, you see there's no www dot. So if I go ahead and add that, you see there's another issue. So the thing is, some people, they still like to type the website with www dot, and this comes up if you don't configure it correctly. So in order to fix this, you want to go back in ENTRESoft, and inside the add domain, we want to actually click on add new domain, and this time we want to actually put www.entremastermind.com, and if I hit add, I should not have any problem. You can still link it to the same thing, to the home page and link domain. Now if I refresh this page, it is still cached, so it might take a little bit of time to come up, but you might need to clear the cache. But in order to just make it quick in this tutorial, I'm just going to go and open up Chrome in incognito version. Let's try that again, entremastermind.com, and hit enter. If you give it a sec, there you go, this came up. So I just used the incognito version because it doesn't do any caching, so it's better for testing. I didn't want to clear my cache because if I keep, there you go, now it came back. So as you can see, it basically, it does the same thing. So even if I remove this one, still the same thing. So that's very important because we got a lot of students getting confused. It's like, oh, I was testing this and it was working, I didn't change anything, and now suddenly I'm getting that error. The error is pretty much most of the time you weren't using www dot, now you started using that, and that's why you're getting that error. So this is very important. Now, just to give you a bonus, because you stick to the video till now, I'm just going to show you how you can, this is what we call subdomain. So you see, this is my main domain, gmimarketing.com.au, and the booking dot, that makes it a subdomain, and then I have another subdomain. So what is subdomain? Subdomain is actually helpful for categorizing your domain. So for example, let's say down the track, the way that we teach our students is like how to create a funnel. So if you want to create a funnel, you can, instead of like using your naked domain and just have a path, say entremastermind.com path / your funnel, the easier way and the better way is to basically just create a subdomain. So let's say you create a subdomain called capture.entremastermind.com, or let's say you have a funnel that you're getting traffic from Facebook and you want to make sure that the traffic that you're getting from Facebook is different from the traffic that you're getting from Instagram. So you can have one subdomain called fb.entremastermind.com for Facebook, and then another subdomain for Instagram called something like ig.entremastermind.com. So the beauty of this is you don't have any limitation in adding subdomain, and you can basically have a really nice and clean URL, so when the user actually interact with your website and those kind of things, they get a really good feeling and everything is nice and clean. Now, in order to implement that, what we need to do, we need to click on add new domain again, and this time we're going to go to do the CNAME. So you go ahead and copy the flashfunnels.msgsender.com. Again, be careful. As you can see, there is no white space. I've seen a lot of students copy this like this, and you see they put white space behind and white space after, and then they come and say, okay, why is it not working? Make sure that you don't copy any white spaces. So you just exactly copy from F to the M. So once you copy that, we want to go back again to our domain manager, and this time I want to go ahead and create a new CNAME. So I click on add, choose a type CNAME, and this time we want to put asterisk. So this is a wildcard, and I'm going to tell you what the wildcard means in a second. So let's go ahead and paste what we copied. Alright, so I'm just going to paste that, make sure there's no white space there. Yep, click on add record. Boom, it's there. And again, it might take some time for some of the domain provider, but let's just, in most of the case, go that is super fast. So let's just go ahead and have a look. Now this time, let's say I want to add, I don't know, something like facebook.entremastermind.com. And let's go ahead and click on add. Boom, it got added. I can hook it up to a funnel if I have, or I can just leave it. Now, we added a wildcard, so the wildcard helps us to basically create subdomain on a fly. So that means I don't need to go to my domain and add this for every single subdomain that I want to integrate in ENTRESoft. I can do it in here on a fly because I added that wildcard. So there we go. This one is Instagram, and boom, it comes up and I can hook it up again. So as you can see, it's super powerful, and you can pretty much do anything that you want in here with your domain registration. Again, for most of the other domain providers are the same. There are a couple of them that have a little bit difficulties. One of them I'm just going to show you quickly because some people use Cloudflare. There's a trick for that. Not a trick, but some people forgot how to actually hook up the Cloudflare. So I'm just going to quickly show you how it's going to look like inside the Cloudflare. So I'm in my Cloudflare. I click on one of my DNS provider. It comes up, and as you can see, if I go ahead and let's ignore that I have this A record, and let's say I want to go ahead and hook it up to ENTRESoft and add a new A record. So when you click on add a record, the only important thing that you want to notice and make sure that you tick off is the proxy status for Cloudflare to work. So once you go ahead and put your stuff inside here, so the ENTRESoft and the 34 or whatever the number is, you need to make sure that you turn this off and then click save. Otherwise, it's not going to work. Same for the CNAME. So if you put the CNAME with the asterisk, make sure that you remove the proxy status as well. That was the only trick for Cloudflare. Alright, that's pretty much it. This is how you can simply add subdomain and also domain to your ENTRESoft. So everything that you do inside the ENTRESoft is going to be branded to your website. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you have any question, comment, please write it down in the comment section. Otherwise, make sure that you like this video, share this video, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and every time I post a new video, you'll get notified. Also, if you would like to learn more about how you can do all of these and how you can actually start making your online business, we do provide one-on-one coaching. Make sure that you get in touch. Click on that join button or the first link that I put inside the comment section. I'll be more than happy to provide one-on-one coaching to fit your needs and show you how you can actually do all of these for your own business. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.